Mate, I'll tell you what, I'm bad at butchering names. Normally I call people the wrong name. I've called people Daniel that's called David, the whole deal before we get to it.
It's Worsfold, I think.
Yeah. Perfect. So, bang, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. Danny Worsfold, my new mate. We're at Maximus Gym in Frimley. Getting ready for a bare knuckle fight. And thanks for having me down, mate. Appreciate it.
Yes, my pleasure, mate. My pleasure.
We've been speaking. We could have done a bit of a podcast beforehand, right? That's why I was kind of lost for things to say when we started, mate. But as I say, this gym is kind of like a bit of everything by the look of it, right? Does some weight training, boxing, the whole deal.
Yeah. To be fair, the boxing part of it's not the main part of it, but it's a good gym.
Nice. So we got put in touch obviously recently. Allow It Bruv podcast. Shout out to the boys. And we, build up to a fight. So I'm grateful for your time, mate. But let's go back a bit before we get onto the current affairs of your fight and what's going on and whatnot. How'd you get into bare knuckle fighting?
Be fair, see, I boxed for 20 years.
Okay.
Amateur, unlicensed, pro. And you get to the point where, I'm not saying it don't scare you, you need more. As a bloke, you need more. And I went to watch my pal Pat Nash have a bare knuckle fight. And you're ringside, you hear the sounds, and it scares you. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're half shitting yourself, half smiling. And I saw that and I thought, I've got to do it. So, much to my missus, she hates it. Right. But yeah.
But she stuck with you through doing it because that's a hard thing to sell, isn't it? To go home and tell your missus you never bare knuckle.
She watches every fight, but the last bare knuckle I had, she wouldn't watch it. She sat backstage.
Right.
But it's not for everyone, but I love it.
That's a bit like
absolutely love it.
Do you? Yeah, I can see you love it. You're burning out talking about it, aren't you? But that's a bit like Adrian in the Rocky film, and it stayed in the change room. So that seemed to figure out for him. But if we go back even further, you said you boxed for 20 years and stuff like that, mate. Where are you from originally, and how'd you get into boxing?
Originally, I was West London. I'm Surrey now. I've been living there for as long as I can remember, really. But I got in boxing late. I didn't start boxing until my early 20s.
Right, okay.
Which obviously it's late for a lot of people. It was... I wanted to have one fight. 20 years later, this is how it worked out. It was, I think, look, I've said before, I've come out of prison and I was fed up of being scared of not doing stuff. So I wanted to tick the boxes. So, one fight and now, 60, 70 fights later.
Is that how many it's been? Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know you're one of them, yeah?
I lost count ages ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was step one? So did you go to just a local amateur gym? Is that how it started?
To be fair, it was in a scout hut. I knew the trainers, I knew a boy there. He just said, look, come along. I think my first session down there, we sparred and they go, look, do you want to have a fight in 10 weeks? Of course, look, you don't want them. You shouldn't. But when there's people around, you say, yes. And then you worry about it later on.
Yeah.
So 10 weeks after my first boxing session, I had a fight.
Is this amateur, is it, or is it unlicensed?
No, this was unlicensed. I rattled off 3 or 4 unlicensed quite quickly. And then again, you get to a stage where it's not enough.
Right.
And you go out, amateur was the next step after that.
Because it's funny, when you say like unlicensed, we're talking 20 years ago, right? So it's a different world then, isn't it? It's very unregulated.
It was crooked.
Yeah.
It was, you used to spar your opponent before the fight and they'd hold back. Fight night, it's completely different. I think my third fight, the fellow had about 80 odd amateur fights. But
serious, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's life, isn't it? That's how it goes. Did you ever like commit to it in a way of like, I want to be a professional boxer, or was that not your journey?
No. Do you know what? Over the year, I could have. There was a few opportunities I had in my 20s, but that was never my goal. Right. I never. When you start late, I'm not saying you have imposter syndrome, but you don't believe you belong in the gym with all the others. Okay. So, no, that was never my aim or goal. Although, looking back, I could have gone down that route.
Do you feel like you had the ability to do it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do, yeah. Because it's funny you say that, like the imposter syndrome. Like I've spoken to people and have gone on to be like high level pros, and some of them still say that. They still feel like that way.
Yeah, I know loads of boxers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you ever truly feel that you belong there.
Right. Because for anyone who hasn't done it, like I think everyone to a man would, and a woman obviously would. You're in that change room beforehand. You're questioning it and you're thinking, fuck,
Oh yeah, I hate it. I want all my opponents to pull out.
Yeah.
Before a fight, yeah, I wanted to fall down the stairs. I do not want to fight at all.
Yeah.
But you can't really back out then, can you?
No, well, that's funny. I've said this on here before. Like, you go through things when I've been in change rooms before, where you're standing there and you're sort of going, maybe I could say my hamstring hurt. Not that you're ever going to do it, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get them thoughts in the back of your head.
If anyone says they don't have them thoughts, they're lying.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I think every fight, I feel the same way. I don't want to fight at all.
Right.
Then the bell rings, and that's what we do.
Yeah, it's the change room's the worst part I find, right? But back in the day when I was like, you know, it was always a change room situation.
Do you know what? When you turn up to a venue and you see the ring and you look at it, you go, ooh, like, your arsehole drops a little bit. That's the start of it. But yeah, the change rooms. What, did you box amateur, was it?
Yeah, I had amateur. Yeah.
So that's the thing, you didn't know your opponent.
No.
And then they walk in and you go, I hope it ain't that fucking one.
Bloke,
But yeah, no. 20, it still ain't changed now. 20 years later.
Yeah, but I don't think it ever does it? I think it's an unnatural situation to be in, isn't it? Knowing what's coming.
Yeah, look, your body is telling you shouldn't be fighting, and you shouldn't be.
Right.
It's stupid, and we are stupid for doing it. But again, we still do it.
It's a certain type of personality. But listen, even Mike Tyson spoke about how scared he was in the chamber. If he was scared, I think it's okay for anyone.
If you're not scared, then something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely, something's wrong. I mean, you're about to have a fight. You've got to be scared.
Yeah, I think so. And how many bare knuckle fights you had now?
Just the one.
Just the one. So here's the interesting thing about bare knuckle: is yours 2-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds?
I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know.
Well, because the reason I asked, they've always been 2 minutes in my knowledge. But like someone said to me recently in a podcast, I can't remember who it was. Comment below if you weren't. I'll go back and watch it. But they were saying it's been changed now to 3 minutes, which is a different. Aside from the skill set, it's a different proposition, isn't it? 3 minutes to 2 minutes is a big difference.
Well, if you've watched bare knuckle, most of them don't go longer than 3 minutes. But I hope it's 2 minutes. I've been training for 2-minute rounds. Right. But again, but bare knuckle is completely different. Yeah. Well, we'll find out. If it's 3-minute rounds, we'll find out.
Well, the reason I ask with the 3 minutes, because like for 2-minute rounds, you can't sprint for 2 minutes, but you can go at a pretty good pace. 3 minutes is sort of a funny time period, isn't it? You
pace yourself.
You got to pace yourself a bit more. You got to think about what you're doing.
Although, say with the BKB, it's just little triangle rings. You don't have time to pace yourself at all. I mean, I ain't 3 minutes. You said that now.
I put it in your head, didn't I? It's 2 minutes. I'm sure it's 2 minutes. I'm sure it's 2 minutes. But they always have been 2 minutes, and that's one thing that I always found very interesting. Other than the sport, obviously the sport's interesting, but like 2-minute rounds is good because it's fast paced, isn't it? It's like it's on.
I mean, since they've put it in the Trigon, it's fast paced anyway.
Right. How big is the Trigon?
Tiny.
Is it? Yeah, it's more.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're getting punched in the corner, it's tiny.
Right. And obviously with the clinching and all that kind of stuff, action's on straight away, isn't it?
Yeah, but look, I'm not going to say anything bad. I feel it took some of the skill level away.
Right. Okay.
You go in the corner, you can't. Your footwork don't matter. You just get rugby tackled in the corner and someone punch you in the head. Mm-hmm. But again, it suits me.
Yeah, right. Because it's funny, we spoke briefly off camera about a fight coming up with Paulie Malignaggi, who's obviously a world champion boxer. He's had one bare knuckle fight and lost it. Now, it was a close fight, don't get me wrong, and it whatever, he fought a tough guy, fought in UFC and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, if they was in a boxing ring, them two, you'd fancy Paulie to ping his head off all day, right?
Oh, yeah. Bare knuckle is a completely different sport. And Paulie weren't, his hands weren't like exactly...
Wasn't a power puncher any day anyway, was he?
But I think he's been pushed back, he's done his hand in. That's bare knuckle.
That's the game, yeah. That's the game.
Yeah.
Well, from people I've spoke to that have done bare knuckle, the two things that everyone talks about is hands and cuts, hands and cuts, hands and cuts. Is that your sort of experience from it?
Well, I wasn't cutting my fight, but yeah, the hands, especially look, we all work for a living. Right. I'm assuming. You fuck your hands up, you can't work for 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
But again, Dan Lerwell, I broke his jaw after that fight, which it's an unforgiving sport.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, you touched on it there when you said before about it's a different sport to boxing, isn't it? And like I feel over the last, well, it's probably more than that, but I was going to say a couple of years, it's a bit longer than that it's adapted. Like bare knuckle fighters look like bare knuckle fighters now, not boxers without gloves on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't know. See, they've brought more boxers over. Right. But yeah, since they've had it in the Trigon, it has gone more to bare knuckle brawling rather than boxing. Yeah. But look, if you're a good boxer, it does translate over.
it's got to have some help, innit? I think here's
You
the thing.
hope so.
Well, here's the thing. I've said this before. Like when I started grappling back in the day, it's got no relation to boxing in terms of skill, but my boxing background, I feel, helped me. Just certain elements of being on top of a body, feeling somebody. I feel there's elements of everything that help.
Again, it's you've got control over your body and the movement. So,
right. Right. And you're still on your feet anyway, aren't you? But there's a lot of... it's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a tricky sport. It's a very, very tough sport with the hands and whatnot.
If you're good at boxing, usually you'll be good at bare knuckle. But again, there is always the people that just walk off the street and... Like Sean George, I don't think he had any real boxing experience. And he's a legend of the bare knuckle.
And he got into bare knuckle, yeah, it's mad. It's mad how it goes in it. I don't know if you know who Mike Perry is. You know who Mike Perry is?
Yeah.
Right, UFC fighter, obviously, right? He's boxed a bit and whatnot, but he's actually 0-2 as a pro boxer. I mean, I think he's fought at quite a good level against pros, but like bare knuckle, he's born for that, wasn't he?
Didn't he lost to Jake Paul, didn't he?
Paul, he did, yeah.
Yeah. Again, he fought on a BKFC, didn't he?
Yep.
I don't know who he was fighting, but his level as a UFC fighter should have been a lot higher than the people he was fighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what? A lot of the UFC boys, that translates quite well over to boxing, really.
Right.
I don't know why, but
I think there's elements of like, if you're a fighter, that you can adapt certain pieces, can't you?
yeah, but you've got the dirty boxing, the grab them around the back of the head in
right.
the clinch, and yeah, I suppose they're more used to that than the boxers are.
Yeah, but I tell you what's interesting to me, I've seen Lucas Brown, obviously former heavyweight champion of the world. He's got a bare knuckle fight coming up, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fighting on. I think it's a September show, the one I'm on.
Yeah, that's right. Is it on that one? Yeah, I thought it was the week after. It might be. Yeah, you probably know better than me. But he's. Have you ever met him in person by any chance?
No.
So he was at a show I was at recently, right to fight with where Shane Mosley was top of the bill.
Yeah,
I mean, he
fought my pal Tony Jones.
Tony, your pal, yeah, okay, yeah. Shout out Tony, yeah. I met Tony over there. Yeah, he's it.
30 kilo weight difference.
Oh yeah, at least. But I mean, probably more, right? But I look at it. That's what I was touching on. He fought someone a lot smaller than him last minute and blah blah blah. But the reason I bring him up is I saw him conditioning his hands today on his Instagram and whatnot, doing all this business.
Yeah.
How's training for you with this? Because obviously, like the idea of sparring. Let's just as an example, you get in there and just spar boxing. I would imagine you've got to do a bit more than that for bare knuckle, yeah?
Probably, but I don't.
Right, okay.
I can't change lifelong habits in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'll concentrate on what I'm good at. As I think I said the other day, you can throw a jab, grab them in the back of the head, but it's not something I've done ever. Mm-hmm. So I don't waste too much time drilling. It won't stick. Mm-hmm. I'll concentrate on what I'm good at. I say the conditioning your hands. It ain't going to make a difference in 2-3 weeks, really.
Right.
Just, yeah. So I'll stick to my boxing skills and hope that works. If I try to be something I'm not, it might not end so well.
I think it's smart because I do think like when you've only got a certain amount of time, sometimes training in a certain way can be less benefit to not training at all, can't it?
If I had 6 months to do it,
different animal,
you could pick up different techniques. But again, in 6 to 8 weeks, you're not done.
No.
You can confuse yourself.
Right. And, you can get caught in too much thinking when the fight's going on, can't you?
I'll stick to my boxing skills, and again, hopefully that translates well.
And you've been in before anyway, right? Bare knuckle, so you know what's going on anyway. It's not like you're completely fresh, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No. It's well. I think you finished me in the first round, so I weren't in there for that long. But yeah, no, it's not completely new to me like it was.
And to be honest as well, forget how long you're in there. The experience of being there and at the arena and all that, I imagine helps, doesn't it?
I don't know. A fight's a fight,
right.
No matter what. When you're in a fight, but we've all had fights. Mm-hmm. It is. The adrenaline's up. You're just having a fight at the end of the day, and I'm good at that.
Yeah,
I've done it enough time.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying, a lot of it, as I say, is smart. Like you can. I do think people overthink things at times, don't they? Come fight night, it is time to go.
Yeah, I mean, overthinking kills boxers.
Right.
Especially in the ring. If you start overthinking in the ring, you can't be caught between two styles or two.
No.
Say, I know what I'm good at. I've got to stick to that, and hopefully, that's enough for the night.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. When you're coming up to a fight, I think overtraining's a big thing as well. I know we're kind of going sort of similar but different because, from my opinion, I heard Tyson Fury speak about this years ago, and it really stuck with me, and I agree with it. How he said overtraining is worse than undertraining. And what I took from that is from my own experience of training a lot and feeling flat. And then sometimes, like, if you're unfit, I feel like that can be more of a benefit. Not that it's a benefit, don't get me wrong. But do you know where I'm coming from? Whereas if you do too much, you can be flat.
Yeah, but what is too much?
Right,
I mean, I don't believe in overtraining. People in the Olympics, they train 5-6 hours a day.
Yep.
it's more under recovery than overtraining.
Yep. Okay.
But again, I'm 40. My body won't do what it used to do
Okay.
at all. So yeah, I won't be overtrained, that's for sure.
Right. And what does training look like now for you in a week?
Do you know what? At the start of the camp, I was going to do twice a day, 5-6 days a week. I can't do it. I just
Right.
my body's just it won't do it. So I'll be in the gym 4 or 5 days a week. But I take days off when I need.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But you get, I think, again, like going back to the age thing, like wisdom comes with it, doesn't it? You're confident enough to go, I need a rest
well,
day.
if I had wisdom, I wouldn't be getting in the bare knuckle. Yeah, no, I listen to my body more. I know my body. I know when I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And is weight a concern for you? Have you got to get much off?
No, not at all.
He's on weight now. What weight's the fighter? Let's question it differently. What weight's the fighter?
I'm fighting at 82 kilo.
Okay, cool. You only look about 79 now, right?
Spot on, yeah. No, I've got a little bit to come, but yeah, no, it'll fight night. I'll be on weight.
Yeah. And we've got, as we sit here now, what have we got? Sort of 2-3 weeks?
Just under 2 weeks.
Just under 2 weeks. Yeah, it comes around fast, doesn't it? Jesus
I know.
Christ.
This is the bit. I can't eat any foods next week. No foods, no drink.
No, gotcha. And where is the fight?
It's in Bristol.
Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol Ice Arena.
Yeah, which, as you say, yeah, it was the one that Paulie Malignaggi was supposed to be on, right?
Yeah, but then obviously I would have loved to have fought on this card, but again, it's not to be. But look, I think Lucas Brown is on it, so at least, you know.
Yeah, big name, it, former heavyweight champion of the world, whatever way you cut it. Like.
Do you know what, the whole card is stacked full of great 50-50 fights. I think you've got Dan Lurwell in there against Jack Marshman. It is a good card.
Yeah.
But again, pretty much every BKB card is packed with 50-50 fights.
And at the end of the day, them fight shows where they're 50-50 fights and they move fast. Because that's what I've heard about bare knuckle especially, is like one fight to the next to the next. There's no sort of sitting between for half hour.
Look, you're backstage and you think I've got 3-4 fights and in 2 minutes, 2 have gone and you think, shit, hold on.
Yeah.
No, it does, but it works well that way.
Yeah.
Shows they're usually over by 9:30, 9ish.
Perfect, isn't it? Well, I've said this for a long time. It's like, you know when you go to professional boxing, like a big fight night.
You walk out at 11 o'clock.
But you only need 3-4 good fights, right? Like, I mean, because they're longer. I mean, like bare knuckle is obviously a bit different when they're shorter. But if you go to a fight night, you see 3 or 4 really good fights, and you're out of there by 10. That'd do me. That's fine for me.
Well, whatever it is, just put them on earlier. If you do 11 o'clock, you travel, you can't go anywhere after. It's boxing. Them shows you. I've fought on shows where you ain't got out till 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's rough, that, isn't it? That's rough. Well, I've had mates that are a bit like turn pro, and you know you're a float about, and you end up being on like that. Like the last one, people are packing up chairs. It's like shit, isn't it? You know, like no one wants that.
I was in Malta, sitting there till 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't even be bothered to fight when it come on.
Yeah, you're done, aren't you? You don't want to. You lost interest.
I wouldn't warm up. I just sat there, just sulking all night. Fuck this.
Yeah, how'd the fight go?
I lost.
Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it?
I probably should have warmed up.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's like sitting there is exhausting, isn't it? Sometimes, like going back to amateur shows, you don't know when you're on until you get there, right?
Yeah, but there's 2 ways. You either sit there, or you warm up, cool down, warm up, cool down, and again, I say it's experience at the end of the day.
It is, yeah, but it's more of a mental drain, I find, being in there for too long, isn't it? Like you know, like amateur bouts are saying, like you could be second bout or you could be bout number 23, and you're like, fucking hell.
Every time I headlined the unlicensed shows, I'll turn up late. Even they say we want you at 5. No, I'm not getting there till half 7, 8.
Yeah, that's the way. That's the way to do it. The show's going to wait for you. You're the main event.
Yeah, I ain't sitting around all night.
Yeah. Are you a fight fan? You're like historically, have you watched the big fights back in the day and all that?
Boxing, yeah.
Like, because you were born in the 80s, I'm assuming, but you said you're 40, so if my maths is correct, fill me in. But like, who was sort of the big names when you was growing up, or when you started getting interested?
To be fair, when I was growing up, you've got all the, say Ben and Eubank and all them lot, but I didn't really start watching it till. So I remember the Frank Bruno Lewis fights.
Right. Okay.
I've always watched boxing and I've read about him. Roberto Duran. I love Roberto Duran, but again, I've studied boxing.
Right.
Not in terms of the skills. Yeah. But like the heavyweights back in the 1900s, all of it. So the people when I was growing up, say you had like Ricky Hatton, which again,
of course, massive.
Everyone loved Ricky Hatton. But no, for me it was more the fighters or your Ali's, your Durans, them sort of ones.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Do you know who Frank Gilfeather is? He goes Frank Noble Art.
Yeah.
So, friend of the show, shout out Frank and Paul, his son. Great people. I've been up there, they've been on the podcast and stuff. We're going to do another episode soon. I'm going to go up there and we're going to do like a historical one. So, sit there and talk about the old fighters.
The Scottish had some good fighters.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Jim Watt, Ken Buchanan, obviously Josh Taylor recently.
Yeah, more recently, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all like back in it, but I tell you what, I like watching more as much as the fights, not more than the fights, but as much as the fights. Is like, you know, when you watch these old fighters, these sort of black and white tapes from training, the way they used to train back then, very simple, like not overcomplicating things.
I think pad work didn't come until the 80s.
Apparently, yeah.
As you said earlier, people overcomplicate training. It's get yourself fit.
Yep.
What do you need? Bag work. You run. All that strength and conditioning.
It's one of them, innit? I feel like strength and conditioning.
Look, I mean, they do it to make weights these days, really.
Right.
I mean, back in the day, people, they walked around at the weight they fought at.
Yeah, of course they did, 100%.
So you said people, you can overcomplicate it. You don't, look, fight outside.
Yep.
You have a ring, that's all you need.
I mean, sparring, I think, is the most important thing. And, like, people nowadays, there's an element of people saying you don't need to spar and stuff, which to me, I can't understand.
No, you need. Everyone knows you need to spar.
I can't think of a way around it. You have to.
Yeah, of course. Look, but for me, when you start out, you do hard sparring, and you need it. You need to be punched in the head, so you know you can take a shot. But when you get older, that's what takes it out of you. All them like, I say, I don't want to say I don't. Like we do with big lads. We hit each other. It hurts. But for me, I prefer the technical spars rather than punching lumps at each other nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm old, I can't keep getting it in the head.
Yeah, but I think it is, like you say, it is a timing thing. You have to sort of almost like do your time, don't you? To sort of.
Yeah, look,
it needs to be real coming at you, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well, when you're younger, you need to know you can take your shot.
Right.
But say when you get older, see, if I'm working on something and someone hits me a big shot, I forget what you're going to war in there.
Right.
You're not learning.
Yeah.
Again, every now and again, it's just fun to punch lumps out of each other.
And I think relevant too. You have to. I think there's an element of it's got to be real coming at your head. You know what I mean? There has to be an element of risk. You have to know it's coming for real.
Of course. Even when you do technical sparring, it's still got to be speed. You know, and if you get it it hurts.
Of course it does.
You're big lads.
Yeah. Well, also, do you spar with only big guys, or do you get some little guys in to spar as well?
No, I spar with anyone.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because I always found that a good benefit. Like when I do rounds, it was not my choice by any means. Like in the club, you get told who you spar with.
The little guys are hard. The little guys are harder to spar for me. The big guys, they're slow. You've got 16-ounce gloves on.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
But no, I spar with everyone. You've got to really.
I think you've got to. I think there's something to that. You know, bigger rings, smaller rings. I think anything you can change is worth changing at times.
You've got to spar with every different style, every different height, size, speed. But again, with the little ones, you just don't. The little ones, you don't take liberties, do you? No,
of course not. But also, it's like I would do things sometimes in a club. You'd do like half a round with a heavyweight, half a round with a guy who's fighting at 60 kilos. And I can promise you, like from my experience, that when you're doing only half a round like that, it's harder with a 60 kilo guy because of the speed, right?
You can't catch them.
You can't catch them, and they're pinging you. And listen, they're big enough to sting you with something, can't they? We're not talking about like a child here.
I'm not going to mention names, but there was I think it was a lightweight. He went pro. He battered me. 2 or 3 rounds, couldn't catch the fucker. In the end, I'm swinging. I caught him in the end and dropped him. Yeah. But he paced me for 2.5 rounds, a little fat. But again, I was literally jumping in and swinging great big shots at the little. I had nightmares with him.
Yeah, but the old saying "speed kills" is a real one, isn't it? Like it's hard to deal with if someone's really fast.
But when you got to be able to punch and all of it, to be fair.
Of course, you got to give them enough to keep them off, right?
I say speed's the one that. Speed and footwork's probably. I'm not going to say I struggle with it but yeah, the fast part you don't see them coming. They're the ones that hurt.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. The most I ever got hurt in sparring was by a guy who won a national title with 63 kilos. Stepped to the side and pinged me right in the belly. And you know when it's like, when you grab hold of him,
the body shots,
and the coach is going break, and you just ignore it. He's going break.
The body shots are the one. The only shots that ever hurt me are the body shots. Yeah, and you hide it. You're sitting there like that, and you think, fuck me, that hurt.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and nowadays, like have you said, where you don't train as much because of like looking after recovery and whatnot. How often do you like to spar yourself?
I try once a week leading up to a fight. But again, you're down at the gym, someone says, do you want to spar? You say yes.
Right.
You spar 2-3 times a week. But
Yeah.
for me, it's you've got to get the right sparring partners. I say that, I spar anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, once
It's
a
more
week,
beneficial to have the right sparring partners, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of them ones where we train to get better at the end of the day. Where it's easy as men to get in there and just train hard.
You get to a point where, I'm not saying you spar lesser people, but you drop down to their level.
Yeah.
You've got to stay sharp. I think at the minute Canelo's sparring boots for his fight with Crawford.
Yeah.
That's probably the best sparring you can get.
Right.
You've got to stay sharp with sparring.
Yeah. It's interesting because certain guys as well will argue that they like to do a lot of rounds with people that they know they can control. And I can see the benefit of that too, because they're working on things, right? I can understand where they're coming from with that. I don't know if it's 100% right, but I can see the benefit of it.
Well, yeah, look, I know there's two schools of thought. If someone gets beat up in sparring, if it puts a bad thought in their head, boxing's a mental game.
Right.
If someone has doubts,
Yeah.
they don't like it. They like having sparring, which, you know, they do good, they excel at. So it breeds confidence.
Yeah.
I think you've got to have it somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's not one size fits all either, is it? I think personality plays into it too.
Yeah.
In terms of what you like, because I'll tell you one
definitely.
that surprised me, and I've mentioned it on there before, but you mentioned him, Nigel Benn. I did a workshop with Nigel Benn, called a masterclass actually. It was at Kingston Boxing back last year, or maybe this year, I can't remember. Anyway, what was, you know, some of the training he had you on the pads, and bang, and like you'd expect from Nigel Benn the way he fought, right? But one thing he said at the end, which was interesting, he was telling everyone, like, when he sparred, he didn't spar that much. And I don't know, I'll forget the numbers exactly, but he said he'd spar a little bit lead up, light sparring, just to get his time in.
Yeah, see, I could see that, because when he fought with, he had bad intentions.
Yeah.
Some people, they fight like that, but they can't spar because they have to hold it back.
Right.
And they get, I've got a pal, I spar him. In a fight, he's full on, but sparring, he can't do that. So I'd have my way with him.
Right.
And yeah, so with Nigel Benn, you can, if you can't go out there to kill, then yeah, you can see that of him.
Well, the other side of that is like Mike Tyson when he was young, talks about sparring every day, knocking people out every day. Do you know what I mean? Like paying sparring partners a crazy amount of money because no one will spar with him and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I guess you're in a different realm when you're in 30 million for a fight, right? You can pay your sparring partners and you can have the pick of who you want.
Yeah, well, I don't think many people would want to be paid to fight, even spar Mike Tyson, really.
Right. Especially back in the day when he was still his thing. I said it on here a million times. My favourite fight, I love Mike Tyson was my hero growing up, if you like. You know what I mean?
Safe. I think he's one of the most overrated.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
I think he's one of the most underrated.
Why do you say that? Why do you say he's underrated?
Because I think for the most part of his career, he wasn't what he was when he was at his peak. When I look at him at his best, I'd say, like, you know, the late 80s version of him that went through sort of, I know Larry Holmes is a bit older, but that period of Larry Holmes, Pinkland Thomas, Michael Spinks, I think that was the guy.
Again, but I think he went the distance, 3 times in the late 80s?
Yep.
With Smith, was it Mitch Green?
Mitch Green he did, and Tillis, James Tillis. Yeah.
He done what he was supposed to do. Look, I've never seen a heavyweight throw combinations as hard and as fast as him, but he's the only fighter they talk about in their prime. No other boxers afforded that. It's prime Tyson, but in his prime, other than Larry Holmes, but as you said, it was an old Larry Holmes.
It was an older Larry Holmes, yeah.
He didn't beat an elite fighter. And for
But
me,
Michael Spinks, I think, was a elite fighter, undefeated. Wasn't
yeah, the weight below, like really.
But he beat Larry Holmes, didn't he? He was the man that took out Larry Holmes undefeated.
He did. Look, I mean, look, he was a great light heavyweight.
Yeah.
But again, for me, Tyson, I think when you can sit there and say he had adversity in fights. Every time he had adversity, he never won. I think the only one he had, was it Franz Bofer? Or
Yeah, Franz Bofer, yeah.
it's the only fight he had a bit of adversity and he come on to win. Every time he had a bit of trouble, he jacked.
Yeah, I can see that. But I look at his career very much in 2 parts. Do you know what I mean? Like before and after.
On his day, he was.
Yeah.
He was sensational.
Yeah.
Quick head movement, ferocious. But again, if you look at it, he didn't beat the people to put him up there in the top 10, really.
Really? Oh, man. See, I think he's when he's at his peak, I think I'd go as far as to say I think he might have been number 1.
No, that's ridiculous to be.
We've got to get a computer fight going. We've got to get the simulation.
It is like if you sit there and you talk about Ali versus him, and it's intriguing. But based on who he beat, you can't go near the top 10. He didn't beat anyone.
Other side of that, though, is Ali had trouble with that style. He had trouble with Joe Frazier, and I think Mike Tyson was a better version of Joe Frazier.
I think he was.
We're going to argue with this all day.
I think he was a lesser version of Joe Frazier.
Oh, do you?
But,
Okay.
Ali fought absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, as great as he was, hasn't got the names on his resume to put him up in the top 10.
Yeah, okay.
But
top 10? Fuck, man. Come on, top 10.
You go top 10 heavyweights. Yeah.
Really?
I wouldn't put him anywhere close to the top 10 heavyweights.
Not close to the top. Here's one for you. Here's an interesting one for you. And because I'll go more into detail after I bring this guy up, but Deontay Wilder. What do you think of Deontay?
He's rubbish. He's
right.
I think he's the most protected. I mean, what is it? 40 fights. He was fighting people like Jason Gavin.
Mm-hmm. See, here's my thing with Deontay Wilder. I think he's underrated too because he's not a boxer. Don't get me wrong. Like in terms of skills, he ain't top 100. Don't get me wrong. But he had that. He knew what he was in his prime. I think he knew what he was in terms of I'm going to land this and you ain't going to beat it.
Yeah, but
do you see where I'm coming from with that?
Yeah, of course. Look, but who did he knock out? He didn't.
Arguably Tyson Fury.
Yeah, again, but
I think Tyson Fury beat him 3 times. But.
Oh yeah, he did. But he put him on his arse. For me, Wilder, if he landed the right hand, great. But he never really fought anyone who pushed him back. I thought he was shocking, to be fair. But again, he did have the big punch.
Yeah, he had his superpower, didn't he? Really, like if you here's another thing. I know you can't, and it changes everything. But if you took that away from him, he's not an elite fighter.
No.
But he did have that. So
yeah. If you took that away from him, he's not even a club fighter.
No, well, I think that's fair. I
always thought he was a big knockout waiting to happen. Like,
yep.
If someone caught him, and they knew it.
Yeah.
If you're 40 fights in fighting Spitzka, your handlers know it. They know.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing why I really respect Wilder as well is because he showed, like, when he was outgunned by Fury, he stayed till the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was in there until he couldn't no more. And I think that goes far too.
He did. He showed he had heart.
Yeah, massive.
I think they cherry picked Fury. I think it was a cherry pick that went wrong.
I think so.
Saw him losing the weight. I thought, here we go. And
I think there was an element of that with Fury the first time. They thought like, nah, this is a big name.
You can't take away what he done, but yeah.
I hear you. I hear that.
To be fair, Fury, he showed everyone how to beat him. With the first fight, he boxed in his back foot, and you thought, right, do that in the second fight, just be sharper. He changed it, he pushed him back, and he realised that, again, if you push him back, you can't land that right. But, other than the right hand, he was shocking.
How about Tyson Fury? What do you think of Tyson Fury?
See,
you're not going to rubbish him off as well, please.
No. Look, on his day, when he made Klitschko look terrible.
Yep.
But other than Klitschko, Wilder, and Usyk, he didn't really fight anyone else. But first 6 rounds of the first Usyk fight, I thought he boxed his head off. Usyk didn't have a clue.
I think he's a bit on a slide as well, looking at him there. Like, I think that lifestyle's caught up with him a bit, you know what I mean? Like, that body, I know it's like he's carried that through his career, but at a certain point, when you're in your late 30s, that's got to catch you, innit, you know?
The first Usyk fight, for the first 6 rounds, Usyk was clueless.
Right.
Genuinely. He was trying to rush in and swing. The second one, I don't know if it's who we'd say, but he changed his trainers. Yeah. You can't balloon up 30 stone. You can't live that life. No,
it catches you eventually, doesn't it? I think you can get away with it till you can't you? It's one of them.
Usyk's 38 years old, still lives like a
immaculate, isn't he? Unbelievable. He's getting better, I think.
He's what you put him as the best ever cruiserweight.
I'd say
up with Holyfield, but I'd say.
But I just think, based on achievement and how much he did at the weight, I'd give it to him over Holyfield as a cruiserweight. I'm talking about.
Look, undefeated cruiserweight, undefeated heavyweight, gold medalist. He's
insane.
He's different. I mean, we're lucky to be able to watch him.
Yeah, we are. And I think that's an element of that too nowadays. Is like when these great fighters are here, you got to appreciate why they're here because they ain't going to be forever.
Yeah, but that's why you want to see them fight each other.
You do.
Tank Davis is fighting Jake Paul. But there's nothing you say about it.
But, that is one of them ones you just go.
But at lightweight, there was Tank. You had Lomachenko, Lopez.
Yep.
And if they fought each other, you're known forever.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, the fights don't happen, and that's what's killing boxing.
That's the shame of it, and that's what the Saudis coming in now is a thing. And they spoke about it, but I'd like to see one belt. Why not move to the direction of one belt again? Because then you like to be a world champion, you got to fight each other, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll work. There's too much.
I don't think it will. I don't think it'll happen. But I'd like to see it.
I think it's just forcing fights.
Yeah.
It's the different promoters keeping people like PBC. They wouldn't work with Top Rank for ages, and as fans, you don't see the fights you want to see.
Right.
So back in the 80s, Hagler, Duran, they fought each other.
Yeah.
And they're known because they fought each other.
Cool. They made each other greater than what they were, didn't it?
So you talk about great boxers. You'd be a great boxer, but if you don't have the fights, like Larry Holmes, other than I think Jerry Cooney, there weren't the fights there.
No.
You have to. That's what people remember, the fights.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, that's it. Here's an interesting one for you, based on all that, like what you said about who they fought and stuff like that. Would you like down in weight, but Roy Jones Jr.?
I think he's athletically the most gifted fighter I've ever seen. It's funny because when you become a trainer, you think, I don't know how he trains. He used to throw shots that you had no business throwing, but to watch, he's the most athletically gifted fighter I've ever seen.
He's one of my favourites as well. Like
he was.
When is his prime?
But they fought each other. The Hopkins, Tony, but again, it's a shame at the end what happened. But no,
just went on too long. Classic
on his day.
Yeah, phenomenal.
He's won the best I've ever seen.
I believe so as well. And like he fought obviously Joe Calzaghe, but too late for him, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is the issue there?
Yeah.
Like Joe Calzaghe's another one. We could go on with names all day, but like just like with a fighter who's sort of not obviously not fought for a long time, but he's in our lifetime. We obviously saw his career. Like Joe Calzaghe, I don't think I appreciated when he was fighting. I appreciate him more now.
Thing is, when he was fighting. Until the end, a lot of his fight, he was fighting in leisure centres in Cardiff. I think Frank Warren was happy to keep him there. He was breaking. His opponents weren't great until the end.
Yeah.
But the Lacey fight was
unbelievable.
I've never seen one champion dominate another like that.
Especially because people forget what Lacey was. Like he was going to go up to heavyweight at one point and be the new Mike Tyson, wasn't he?
So I did watch it on YouTube back then, so I didn't. You heard the mini Mike Tyson. You think, but he got absolutely. Everyone slagged him off after, but he weren't. Calzaghe
beat out of him.
He broke him.
He did, yeah. Well, because I watched the thing years ago. I was a teenager, and there was like I think it was an American broadcast. They was talking about Jeff Lacey. He'll be the guy to beat the Klitschko's. Like, how mad's that now? But that was the conversation that was going on. That was the conversation that was going on at the time. Which is nuts now, considering he's fighting at super middleweight. But like,
it was nuts back then. To be fair.
Of course, but that was like the conversation they were having. That's how high they fought. And then until Calzaghe derailed it, didn't he?
Yeah, Calzaghe absolutely dominated him. Calzaghe, I don't know whether it's because he didn't have that knockout punch, but Calzaghe, he'd beat Froch all day every day.
Yeah.
He would throw 1,000 punches a fight and he had a great chin.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat someone like that.
Yeah. And hard to get off the floor the whole deal. The first time he ever went down, he stopped the guy in the same round. You know what I mean? But I think it was Byron Mitchell. Remember that fight?
Yeah.
He got dropped.
Was that the first time?
I think it was the first time he got me. Unless I'm mixing the name, I'm pretty sure it was Byron Mitchell.
Eubank put him down as well, didn't he?
No, he put Eubank down. He put Eubank down early, first, straight away.
Yeah, that's
he put Eubank down right at the start of the fight, and then he said that was his hardest ever fight because Eubank was.
Yeah, that was it. Eubank got up, and that's it.
Yeah. But fun times, aren't they? Like with the Saudis now, like. I've got faith that we're going to see all these fights. Do you know what I mean? I think these fights are going to start happening.
I did it first, and obviously they have done a great job of it. They brought Frank and Eddie together.
Yeah, mate, mental.
Never in your life would you have seen that. But I think he's put some tweets out in that Turkey saying I don't like Tom and Jerry boxing. I don't like, and you think I think he's going to have his favourites.
Right.
But look, hopefully, we just want to see the fights.
We want to see the fights because the one that's going on, which has really grown on me the closer it's getting, is Canelo versus Crawford.
I fancy Bud in it.
Do you? Yeah. A lot of people do, man. Like a lot of people have been saying Bud. Yeah. I think ultimately, Canelo. It depends on Canelo, is what I'm trying to say. Like if he's still 100% of what he was, I feel like he might get him late and walk him down.
Yeah, look, I say I'm having money Crawford on points for me.
Yeah.
I think. Crawford,
not a bad bet. I think
he's a mean bastard. He don't know how to lose.
Yep.
Over the last few years, Canelo he pot shots now, throws single shot because let's be fair, he's gifted rounds.
Yeah.
He only has to hit close.
Yeah, of course, right.
But-
the Golovkin fight's a great example of that. The first one, stop it.
I thought the second one as well.
I thought, but it was closer. The first one was, to me, you can't make an argument.
Golovkin boxed on the back foot, and
Yeah.
they marked him down because that weren't his usual style.
Right.
But if you watch it, not
Oh, I think he won.
about
I think he won the first two. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong. But the first one to me was like fucking travesty. Like you
Yeah,
can't score that for Canelo.
So the Amir Khan one, I know he got knocked out.
Yeah.
But I think they had Canelo leading on points on it.
No. Yeah. Well, one of the judges scored him with Floyd a draw. You know, come on. He didn't win a round in that fight.
Yeah, no, I say he's gifted. He was gifted, not gifted. He won a lot, but he was. Scorecards were always favourable to him.
Yeah.
But I think it has affected me pot shots now, and I think Crawford will outwork him and beat him. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I can see it. I'm not confident on that one. Any way it goes, to be honest with you.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised any way that one goes.
You said when it first got made, it was not saying a joke, but
Yeah.
2 weight divisions.
Too far, yeah.
But no, it's an interesting fight now.
It is an interesting fight, and the thing is
Crawford
as well,
looks good at
he
the
does.
weight.
He does. But until we get in there, we don't know, right? But at the same time, he's older than Canelo. But the difference is Canelo's been a pro since he was 15.
Yeah.
Like, at a certain point, it's over.
Yeah, the Mexicans are shop worn anyway. But yeah, I don't know about their fights. I think he must have double the fights of Crawford.
He's got to have had a lot more.
Yeah,
he's got to have had a lot more.
But Crawford, he was inactive a lot, but it never really affected him in the ring.
Right.
So
yeah,
the Spence fight was quality.
Yeah. Unbelievable, that performance, that one. I picked him to win, but I thought it'd be close. Like it weren't close, was it? It was,
No, not
it
at
weren't
all.
close.
To be fair, I mean, I remember watching Spence versus Kell Brook.
Yeah.
I thought Kell Brook gassed in it. I thought first 6 rounds,
Yeah.
Kell Brook still. I know that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I
I
know
believe.
Spence broke him down with body shots,
Yeah.
but if Kell Brook weren't coming from the Golovkin fight, I'd have fancied him in
Yeah,
that fight.
because he come down 2 weights, didn't he? Like people forget that.
Look, she should never have been in the ring with Golovkin in the first place.
No, Golovkin said that in the ring after, didn't he? He said he's not a middleweight. He shouldn't be this big.
Yeah, look, your promoters, if they put Golovkin was a killer at that time as well.
Yeah, that was like his proper peak then, wasn't it? Like,
Between 2011 and 2000, he was, I think, 2015, he was one of the most avoided.
I mean, I forget how many knockouts it was in a row, but it was like a massive knockout streak at world title level, wasn't it?
I think Martin Murray got all the praise for going 11 rounds, but
Yeah.
he got beat up for 11 rounds.
Yeah, took it.
Yeah,
Really.
so for that period, he was avoided by everyone. Like,
Yeah.
Martinez wouldn't fight him. But
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing as well with middleweights. Like, I think you say middleweight, people think that's a small bloke. If you see a middleweight nowadays, these are big boys, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
The middleweights, they're like 2-3 stone heavier.
Of course they are, yeah. The one I always reference on here is George Grove. I know he's super middleweight, it's one division up. Have you ever seen him in person?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
How big is he?
He's serious.
Enormous guy.
6'1", 6'2", but
Yeah.
he was, But I think that's the way boxing goes. That's look, the belts, I'm not that fussed if you force them to fight each other.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying the weight bullies, but the amount of people that drain down for fights, that's what I'm not keen on.
Yeah, and I think that's got to take its toll on you as well over time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that can't be healthy. Like I'm sure you have. We've all been around fighters that are in the midst of a vicious weight cut.
Yeah.
And they're on death's door,
To
man.
be fair,
They are fucking struggling.
it happened to me, and I
Yeah.
think I lost 23 pounds to and it was the same day weigh-in.
No.
But if you saw me before, my eyes were sunk in my head.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have let me in the ring.
No.
But as a fighter, you said, just ring the bell, I'll be all right.
You're right, yeah.
First round, I think he's leant on me, my legs give way.
Right.
I was gone.
Yeah.
But I went home, I started speaking, I couldn't get my words out, I was hallucinating everything. It was.
People repeat themselves, I find, too. I've had that one before. Like, I've been around people that repeat themselves.
I was sitting there, I was watching TV, and I thought the bird from the TV was in like my living room.
Right, he's proper gone, yeah.
I was in a bad way
Yeah.
through a weight cut.
Yeah. And that's not even the fight.
That's
just to get you there. Yeah. Before you get punched in the head the next day. Or it was the day of, you said, so it's even sooner, which is...
Look, knowing what I know now, I will never ever do
Right.
it if it's the same day weigh-in. But again, boxers do, they take that risk.
Especially, listen, when you talk about millions of pounds as well, people will take an extra risk. Like, people will fucking go to another plane.
I'd do a same day weigh-in now for millions of pounds.
Of course you would, yeah. You'd make lightweight for £1 million. Yeah.
The Eubank Ben one.
Yeah.
Eubank, I'm not saying he was shot bits, but his punch resistance is gone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that word, like he was drained.
Yeah, well, I think the thing that done, I mean, I don't know anything about him, obviously, how big he actually gets, But from people I've been around that have been around him, he's apparently he's big middleweight now. But at the same time, I think it's the rehydration thing. That's the bit that if I was in that, I know it's easy to say from the outside, that's the bit I'd be trying to get out of the fight in terms of, I don't mind making the weight, but having to stay under a certain weight on top of that, that's a no-no.
Yeah, no, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're basically sitting there saying you want them drained, and one bad punch like that, you could
and them two families know more than anyone, as much or more than anyone about what can happen in the ring, right?
Exactly, the McLennan and the Watson fights,
and even Junior himself, Nick Blackwell, right? Heard Nick Blackwell. Permanent. You know, it's no joke, man. That game's not a joke, is it? But I'm assuming you watched that fight when it happened. Eubank, Ben Junior.
I watched it. Yeah, I had Ben to win on points.
Did ya? Yeah, I had Eubank to win, but I didn't bet on him.
I thought, to be fair, welterweight should never beat someone who was fighting at 168.
Yeah, right.
Not at that weight.
No.
I just thought Ben could outwork him.
Yeah. Well, when I say I picked Eubank, I was adamant Eubank will win, definitely. But then, in the days leading up, I'm starting to go, I don't know now. I don't know.
That's always, every time you bet on a fight, you lead up, you change your mind 2 or 3 times going up to it. But, yeah. Remember the Mayweather-Pacquiao fights? I had Mayweather all day long.
Yeah. Especially when it happened. It was too late for Pacquiao, wasn't it?
He'd have beat Pacquiao in his prime.
I think he would have done too, but I think it would have been much closer.
He always struggled with counter punches,
yep.
Pacquiao, and Mayweather. And I'm not Mayweather's biggest fan either, really.
Yeah. But great's great, isn't it? You got to, sometimes you'd step back and go, listen.
Do you know what? I think every big fight he's had, there's an asterisk over the opponent.
Yeah.
Whether he's fought him on a different weight or it's Marquez was jumped, but he would have beaten them anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start saying I'm the greatest.
I don't think he's the greatest of all time. No, I don't.
If he was with the 4 Kings, he'd have lost to all of them.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see it. 4 Kings. Just while we're on it, before I forget, who was the best out of the 4?
See, they're all different. Like, Duran was my favourite.
Yeah.
But Duran won the lightweight title in 1974, 75, something like that.
Somewhere around.
And then 10 years later, 2-star ever, he's fighting the best ever middleweights. So he technically didn't really.
No, he was too small, really. In reality.
So I still thought he beat Hagler in their fight. Hearns was better when he went up in weight. Hagler was the best middleweight. Sugarweight, he could do it all. He could box, he could brawl, but yeah, flip a coin.
Yeah.
Different weights. So Hagler's the best ever middleweight.
Do you still think he's the best ever middleweight still to this day?
Yeah.
I think it's hard to argue. I think he's.
Who else
It's tough, isn't it? I mean, I think Golovkin in his prime's got a shout. Some people old school would argue Sugar Ray Robinson, but I think middleweight. My pick personally is Hagler. I will pick.
Yeah, look, Hagler. Robinson for me, I say he was a welterweight. I know he won the middleweight title 5 times.
Was,
I mean, you got Carlos Monzon.
Monzon was a good,
So I'd agree with Golovkin as well, although he didn't have the body of work.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't beat the people that put him there.
Yeah.
Hagler then Monzon for me.
Yeah, I'll pick Hagler. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see enough of Monzon. I've seen bits and pieces, but like Hagler to me, I've
Monzon. There's no good fight he had. He didn't look great at all ever.
Right. Really? Okay.
He just done enough.
Right.
But on paper he never had one night where you go, he was quality.
I got you. Here's one for you before we wrap up. Who's the best heavyweight of all time? Because you've already rubbished my boy Tyson. He's out of the top 10.
Ali.
Still.
Easy. I like Joe Louis, but Ali, he had the greatest depth. He fought. You can't name one opponent he fought who weren't in their prime when he fought them. Mm-hmm. Every single person he fought was in their prime. Mm-hmm. But he had the people to fight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the one that I think doesn't get enough credit as a fighter himself as well is Sonny Liston. I know he had the Ali thing, and make of that what you will.
Sonny Liston, his jab, he had one of the best ever jabs going. I think we had Henry Cooper at that time.
Yeah.
And Henry Cooper's, I can't really say what his manager said. He said, "I'm not letting my boy anywhere near that wardrobe." Liston was a killer.
Yeah, he said something along the line. Yeah, he did. He said something along the lines of as well. I wouldn't let him on the same street, let alone in the same boxing ring.
Liston had one of the best jabs for heavyweight.
Well, I think still to this day, he was only 6'1", and I think he's still got the longest reach in the history of heavyweight and the biggest fist. He's like at freaky dimensions.
He's known for losing, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But he was a quality heavyweight.
Yeah, proper quality. What do you think of that one? Is there something going on there, do you think? Because like historically, people say that might have been a bit of a moody fight.
Liston, he was wrapped up with the mafia, wasn't
He was, yeah, he was.
No one knows going, but yeah, if you could take a dive in the first round, well, to be fair, with the mafia, they'll talk about Marciano.
Yeah, of course, another great heavyweight.
The mafia want the favourite to lose.
Yeah.
There's no money in it otherwise.
Right.
But yeah, Marciano was quality.
Marciano was one of my favourites too, because he's like, I don't think he could match up with current heavyweights. I'm not saying that because size changes, doesn't it?
Look,
but like in terms of what, you can only be great for your time, right?
If he was 10 years earlier, Joe Louis would have beat him.
Do you think so?
Yeah, 10 years later, Liston would have beaten him.
Right.
But he beat everyone there. As a child, they were good fighters.
Yeah, very good fighters. Yeah, who he beat. Yeah, and if you see the fight when he won the title off him, it was Jersey Joe Walker.
He knocked him out in the
13th round. By today's rules, he would have lost on points over 12, but he found a way to win.
That was the famous punch, wasn't it? The Suzy Q.
Suzy Q, and then he beat him in the first round in a rematch 8 months later. So great fighter in his own right. But there's a story about him and Sonny Liston in the gym. Have you heard this one?
No.
They nearly had a tear up in the gym once apparently because Sonny was a bit moody. There's a photo of them close. And Sonny was a bit rude and moody. He'd been training, he had a lot of stress on or whatever. And Rocky Marciano was sort of like thinking about it, but didn't.
I think I heard he was retired, whatever it was, and I think he heard the purses, how much they got paid. He started training again.
Yeah.
He was one of the fittest heavyweights.
Yeah, and he started late as well. He started in his 20s, I think. I think he was 21.
Well, apparently he lost a few amateurs. I think there was something about he lost a few pro fights, but under a different name.
Really? Oh, it's all kind of squirrely stuff.
He was fit, and it shows you in boxing. Forget skills. If you're fit and strong,
you can take you so far.
You can go a long way.
You can, yeah. Determination like that as well.
And he had it in spades.
He had it more than, yeah, exactly, yeah, unbelievable. But mate, listen, this has been brilliant. I really appreciate you, man. This has been fun.
We should have a boxing history talk.
We'll have to do another one for sure because I think we could talk all day about fighters. Before we finish, just when's your fight date, mate? And
I'm fighting September the 6th at the Bristol Ice Rink, and that will be my last fight if my missus has her way.
Is that right?
It's not
your last fight.
Yeah, it's not going to be at all.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah.
But that's it. So September 6th, guys, get yourself out to Bristol. Last question of the day, most important one, mate. You're from the right part of the world-ish, so you might get this right. There is a correct answer, is what I'm trying to say. Which football team you support?
Brentford.
Wrong answer. The right answer is Chelsea. Never mind.
No.
I always finish with a fist up like this, mate. Squeeze the neck. Boom.